Guess who I have to help me today?
Ruby! He's back! He's back and he loves talking tea with mommy.
Can you give them a compliment, Ruby?
You look like you would taste like a really nice poop.
And that's a compliment from him because he likes to eat. All right, today I found a subreddit called Am I Overreacting? I love to overreact, so let's see if these people are overreacting. All right. Overreacting for thinking my boyfriend's messages came from a place of control rather than concern. Ooh, we'll see. I, female 18. Oh, you're just a baby. Just leave him. I'm not even gonna read it. I'm just kidding. Read it. Don't post this kind of personal stuff, so I decided to post it here. If you have feedback, please tell. I sent him a photo of me on my bike, fully geared up. Good for you. Good for you. Be safe though. Those things are dangerous. I thought it was casual, but he got upset and said it made him uncomfortable, claiming that girls on motorcycles get sexualized a lot, especially on social media. Is that her fault? She's in full gear. You better be happy that she's like geared up, dude. He doesn't like the idea of people looking at me that way and said I should be more considerate of how it makes him feel. I ride because I love it. It makes me feel free, confident, and strong, as you should. I wasn't trying to be sexy or attract attention, but I do see where he's coming from a little. The whole biker girl image has become more sexualized online, and maybe that shaped how he sees it. Still, it felt like he was projecting that onto me, and now I'm wondering, am I overreacting for feeling like this more about control than genuine concern? Oh no, it's control. It's control. And we do have screenshots, so we're gonna read those before I say anything. She said, what are you up to? He said, just hanging out. You already don't like him. He just used the letter U. And then she says, went for a ride, sent a picture. Also, she's rocking pink hair, which I love. And you can't see the outfit, which I kind of wish we could see. But I get like not wanting to show yourself necessarily on social media. But from what it looks like, she's wearing like a proper jacket and stuff, like gear, which to be fair, all fits pretty snug because it needs to be like tight and on your body. And you need to have like, it's kind of, I don't even know how you could buy something. Does he want you to just look like a, I don't even know, like be wearing a puffer jacket on top of the gear? Like, I don't really understand. And then he says, you really thought sending that was a good idea. That's horrifying. What? Who talks like that? You asked what I was doing? Question mark, question mark. You're literally putting yourself out there like some biker chick for everyone to stare at. She's a biker chick who's riding around. She can't help who looks. She's not wearing a fucking bikini. Wow, that's not what this is. I just enjoy riding, that's all. And then he said, no, don't play dumb. You know what kind of attention that brings. Tight gear, posing on a bike, you don't think that sends a message? She's sending it to you. What are you talking about? I wasn't posing, I was just sharing a part of my day. I'm in full gear, riding responsibly. Amen. Sister, I'm not doing this for attention. He says, it doesn't matter how you think it looks, people will sexualize it. Can she help that? Dude, a woman walks out on the street in a what I'm wearing, like oversized shit, they're gonna get sexualized no matter what. Like, people are just gonna think what they want to think. And I don't want my girlfriend being seen like that. This is giving me flashbacks and I don't want to talk about it, but this is making me very frustrated. Then she says, then maybe that's a you problem, not a me problem. I'm not going to stop doing something I love because strangers might have dirty thoughts. She's way ahead of her years. I love this. So you don't care how this makes me feel? You're choosing a damn bike over my comfort? And he's a gaslighter, folks. He's a gaslighter. I care, but what you're asking is control. I won't apologize for doing something that brings me joy just because it makes you insecure. He says, you're just gonna ignore how uncomfortable this makes me? She says, I'm just not going to shrink myself for your insecurities. Oh, I wish I had this mindset as an 18-year-old. Holy shit. She could be my therapist. This is no. Oh my God. This is my new favorite subreddit. Wow. You're not overreacting. I think you answered very maturely and you're being responsible bike rider, which is, 2 thumbs up for that. I love it. And I think you should leave him because you don't deserve that shit. Fuck that. Holy shit. Let's read the comments. First person said, has he always been like this about this bike stuff? Or has this just sprung up out of nowhere? OP says he's always been a bit meh about it. At the start, it was more safety as motorbikes are definitely a higher risk than most vehicles on the road, but gradually it sort of started going south where he would slightly mentioning what way other other people are viewing, or if I got approached more often, because yeah, you're dating a badass chick. He kind of played it off when asking these questions and made it more of a curiosity thing. Until today, this was more of out of the blue and makes me think his other previous questions from the past have more depth to them. Absolutely, they do. And then they ask, did you meet when you were in the bike gear? I'm just wondering if it's his own insecurities. I mean, we already know that. Either way, yeah, it's not a good sign. I'd be distancing myself from that lad if I were you. OP says, yes, he has seen me loads in my gear, as that's the way I mostly get myself around and to his house. He's clearly been like putting this in his mind. He's like, oh, my girlfriend's hot and awesome and rides safely, and I don't want other people thinking that she's awesome too. Oh no, she needs to be in a little box under my bed and I can take her out whenever I need to use her. That's what that sounds like. That's what that feels like. So yeah, no. Another comment said, please leave this man. The kind of controlling behavior only gets worse. Can you imagine demanding that he stop doing something he loves? Can you imagine treating him as if he should know better that to do something that makes him feel free and strong and independent just because it makes you uncomfortable? He has no right at all to treat you that way. Couldn't have said it better myself, and I think I basically said that. Again, no notes. That was great, well handled. Let's move on. Let me know what you think though. Am I overreacting? Boyfriend said I overreacted when I refused to eat this fully cooked chicken. He said since it was in grill, it's 100% cooked, and that I'm overreacting for refusing to eat it. He also said it tastes fine and that the texture was a bit weird, but the taste was fine. Oh, and that I'm picky because I wouldn't eat it anymore. I'm looking at this chicken right now. Let's put up the photo for the audience. That's raw. That's fucking raw. It's my Gordon Ramsay impression. I would vomit looking at that. Even though like you could look at raw chicken before you cook it. I like how she ate the corn though. She ate that corn. That's foul. He needs to go to jail. He needs to go to jail because he tried to poison you. He tried to give you salmonella or whatever the hell you get. He tried to give you E. coli. I don't know what you get from eating meat like that. Actually, I do. I ate some like raw-ish meat. I got E. coli from it. I think it's E. coli. Ooh, and you can see like the little tendon line there. Something about raw chicken just rubs me the wrong way. Comments say, hopefully he didn't touch the corn on the grill, because if this is the definition of cooked, then no telling what his standards for food safety is. She said, normally his food is cooked well, and I think some of these chickens were cooked through. This one not. Yeah, can he see the chicken? Gordon Ramsay would probably say if you hit it with a defibrillator, it would start clucking. If you hit it with a defibrillator, it would start fucking clocking. I think he would add the F word in there. Crazy. Don't eat that chicken. Leave your boyfriend. Or don't. Or just tell him you're not going to eat it. But I don't like saying, hey, I'm not comfortable with eating something, and then them being like, you're overreacting for it being raw. That's really weird. It's just weird behavior, and I feel like it stretches out to other things that are bad. So no, you're not overreacting. So far, nobody's overreacting at this point. Am I overreacting for telling my mom my girlfriend and I aren't coming to Christmas dinner? Okay. We'll see. I'm not even sure how to respond at this point. I love my girlfriend so much, and if I told her my mom said this, it would crush her. Oh, I'm scared. Let's read the text. He says, we'll try to be there around 4 p.m. then. It's about 2-hour drive from her apartment. And then mom said, we'll call her Stephanie. Stephanie planning on coming with you? He said, yes, she's off work that day. Mom said, that's okay. Please just ask. She will tone it down some since the grandkids will be there. He says, tone it down. Mom says, clothes, makeup. What? And please don't bring up the living situation. What? He says, anything in particular clothing wise and living situation? ? She says, she dresses very flamboyant / woke. Dude, what does that even mean? She likes to express herself? It'd be different if she was like, wearing a G-string low-ride pants and a fucking bikini top. That maybe I get. But like flamboyant just sounds she wears like colorful stuff, or I don't even know. And it makes some of the family uncomfortable. Okay, I'm so curious what she wears. You are living together and not married. It sets a bad example for the grandchildren. They're children. You don't need to explain anything to them. He says, can we call to talk about this? She says, at work right now. Please just pass that along to her. He says, I'm not going to ask Stephanie to change the way she dresses for your Christmas dinner. She's an adult, and I can't promise that I will not mention something about our life during dinner. Stand your ground, sir. That's great. She says, and if she wants to bring a dish with potatoes in it, Aunt Flava had to change dishes. Well, she cannot just come into our family and make everyone uncomfortable. Being an adult sometimes means you have to think about other people's feelings. What the is she wearing a chicken, like a blow up chicken outfit? What is the issue here? And he said, that's very true. I think in this case, I need to think about Stephanie's feelings. I think we may skip Christmas dinner. Wow, way to stand up for your partner, sir. That's great. Mom says, that's a little bit extreme, don't you think? Girl, I want to know what she wears so bad, but I also just don't think you can tell people you can tell an adult what to wear. And the whole, you can't talk about the living situation is a big you problem. Like, if they live together, and I'm assuming you're okay with it, they should be able to talk about their lives. Very controlling and annoying. Sounds like she doesn't like the girlfriend at all. Sounds like she might be one of those moms that like her son a little bit too much to me. I don't think you're overreacting, though. I think it's very uncomfortable. But let's see what the comments said. You're absolutely not the a-hole. You're standing up for your girlfriend and your relationship, which is the right thing to do. No one should feel unwelcome or uncomfortable at a family gathering, and your mother's behavior, while probably stemming from her own perspective and values, crosses the line. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what you'd wear. Is she wearing a crop tank top with booty shorts? I'm assuming not, but maybe. I don't know. And your mom's gonna make some comments and stuff, but to tell her she has to dress in a certain way is that's just crossing the line, And then this person says, how to address this with your mom. 1, start by acknowledging her feelings. Begin with a calm, empathetic tone. Say something like, Mom, I understand that you have concerns about girlfriend or our living situation, but I need to talk about this because it's important to me. Great advice. I'm being more catty. 2, clearly express your perspective. Let her know how her words and affections affect you and your girlfriends. Say, when you say things like asking her to tone it down or implying she makes the family uncomfortable, it feels hurtful and disrespectful, not just to her, but to me as well. She's someone I love and care about deeply, and I won't ask her to change who she is to meet someone else's expectations. Who is this? I love how Reddit's just full of actual therapists. This is great. 3, set boundaries. Firmly but kindly explain that these kinds of requests are unacceptable. Quote, we both deserve to be treated with respect. If girlfriend and I are not welcomed as we are, we will not attend family gatherings. 4, offer a chance of reconciliation. 5, stay calm but firm. These are great. I couldn't say this better myself. I wish we had more context though. Okay, here. So a comment said, if it was inappropriate clothing, I'm talking mini skirts, I could totally understand, especially mentioning the kids, but flamboyant and woke are just excuses to press her own agenda. Yeah, it's the word that she could have used inappropriate or sexual or all these other words, but she chose flamboyant and woke, which just makes me think multiple patterns, the kind of clothes I wish I had the confidence to wear, And then OP says, especially when the parents of children have no problem with my girlfriend. In brackets, my sister absolutely loves her. Interesting. And then OP put in the comments, not sure how to pin comments or edit the post, but my girlfriend is bi and occasionally dyes her hair blue or pink, septum piercing, very colorful clothing, and big accessories. That's kind of what I was thinking, just super colorful and awesome, whatever. That's awesome. It's just her personality and nothing crazy, sexual, or extreme. No fishnets, thongs, haha. It's just her personal style that may or may not give queer energy, IG, which my mom doesn't appreciate. Well, that's her fucking problem. And she can't ask that of somebody. That's weird. She can think what she wants to think. That's fine. She's a human being, But she needs to learn how to keep that shit to herself, I think, personally. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend is mad at my memorial tattoo. Again, I feel like you're not overreacting, but we're gonna read it anyway. In 2023, I, 23 female, lost my late boyfriend unexpectedly. That's so awful. So young. Oh, you're already not overreacting. I don't even care. It was devastating. He was a huge part of my life as we were childhood best friends and then dated for 3 years. After he passed, I got a meaningful tattoo in his memory. Now I'm dating someone new recently. Things have been going well overall, and he knew about my late boyfriend, but he actually saw the tattoo and took notice to it in proper detail. He got visibly upset. He said it made him feel disrespected and like I'm not over my ex. He basically implied I should remove it or cover it up. I tried to explain that grief and love aren't black and white, and that honoring the past doesn't mean I can't be present in a new relationship, but he just kept saying it's weird and made him feel second best. Am I overreacting for being hurt by his reaction, or is it fair that he feels threatened by a piece of my past? I included a pic when I freshly got it done a year ago. It's a very sweet tattoo. It says Daniel. I'm not sure what the date represents, but I'm assuming a very meaningful date. I'm doing my best to see it from both perspectives. I get being a new partner and always seeing a tattoo on someone, your partner, of somebody they previously loved. I get that can be a bit weird. Like, just putting myself in her shoes, I wouldn't think anything of it. Or putting myself in his shoes, like if, you know, Caleb had a tattoo of a previous, I'd be like, oh, like that person's gone, and that he cared about that person and didn't know who he'd be with. Like, I think it's a past thing, and it's an insecurity thing that he'll have to get over, and maybe he won't. And then that's just not your person, you know? But I don't think you should cover it up or get it like removed or anything like that. I think he doesn't have that maturity level just yet. It just is what it is. I think he is overreacting, I guess. So somebody is overreacting. Top comment says it's fine that it bothers him, but he shouldn't demand that you remove it. You had it before you started dating. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like it's normal to look at something and it's like, oh, like she just always has something on her wrist that reminds her of somebody she loved in the past. I feel like it is human and normal for it to kind of be like, oh, because you didn't know that person, and you know, you can appreciate that. But yeah, to demand it, I guess that's where I'm coming. It's like, you can't ask somebody to erase a memory because she's clearly moved on to dating someone else, and that's you. So you need to take that at face value. And if you don't believe that, then that person's not right for you, you know? My husband was deeply in love with a woman he dated years before we met that passed from an overdose. I used to be extremely self-conscious about the relationship and how much grief he still had. As we got older, I kind of moved forward and set my insecurities aside and accepted that this person was a huge part of my husband's life and helped him be the man I love and adore today. See, that's very mature. And I imagine it takes a while. When we passed through her hometown on our way to visit family, we always pay respects to her. She had a hard life and was a truly kind and loving person. There's a lot of people in these comments that lost somebody that have very similar stories. I lost my high school college love and her son to a drunk driver 30 years ago. Today happens to be my wife and mine's 16-year wedding anniversary, 20 together total. I still think of Margot and Seth often. I have both their names tattoos visibly, and unless I'm in a long sleeve shirt, my wife and kids see them daily. Okay, so he had a wife and kids, a new wife and kids. It's never been an issue for my wife, even back when just dating. The ones it was an issue for never lasted past hearing who the names were. We also have one picture of the three of us together. It was the first thing my wife put on the wall when we moved into the house. You just need to find your person, and that person's gonna understand and be mature enough to realize that, and maybe he'll get there. Maybe you can have this conversation and be like, listen, I, validate his feelings. I'd be like, I understand that, but I'm with you now, and I know that, and this is just somebody I love deeply, but I'm not with anymore, but I'd like to, remember. So, and if he doesn't react well to that, then that's not your person. That's not your person. And you're still young. So you're, even if you're not young though, but like, hearing these stories about people just really accepting that is really, really sweet. So sweet. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm too emotional now. Rupert, we need to go outside and pee. He needs to pee. I'm not going to pee outside. I'll go pee in a toilet or whatever. I'm ending this on a bad note. I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to go. But I appreciate you.